Hello, children. Welcome to mathematics class. Today we're talking about weight. Weight. Our lesson objective. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define weight, compare the weights of common objects around you. So let's start. What is weight? Weight. Weight is the measure of how heavy or light an object is. How heavy or light an object is. So when I pick a particular object, I should be able to tell if this object is light or heavy. For example, feather. The feather of a chicken is light, isn't it? Paper is light. What else? Nylon. All those objects are light. Then when you're talking about heavy objects, yam, stone, the dictionary, your Bible, you discover that if you carry all those things I just mentioned, they're quite heavy compared to your feather or your nylon or your paper. So that is what we mean by weight, telling how heavy or light an object is. Now look at this diagram below. This is what we call a spring balance or a weighing balance. It's actually an instrument for checking the weight. It's similar to your seesaw that you use on your playground, that you used to play with your friends. That seesaw that two people will sit on, one at one hand, the other person at the other hand, and then you'll be playing. One person will move up, the other person will move down. Yes, similar to this. Now you will discover your seesaw. The person that has more weight is the one that will come down, and then the person that is lighter will be on top, isn't it? So the same thing with this. You can see this is a burger, and this is an apple. Because the apple is lighter, you can see that it's kind of up here, while the burger is heavier. So this weighing balance will tilt to the right to show that the object on the right is heavier. But if the heavier object was on the left, then this would have tilted, it will bend to this side. Do you understand that? So this is used to tell which object is heavy or which is light. Now, I want to compare weights of objects around us. You can compare any object. Any object. I can compare a shoe and a bag. I can compare a pencil and a Bible. I can compare a duster and a textbook. I can compare, what else do you have around your house? I can compare yam and a cup. I can compare a bucket and a plate. You just pick those two objects and tell, oh, this is light, this is heavy. So comparing simply means telling which object is light or which is heavy. So in comparing, we always use the word lighter and heavier. So if the object is light, you say this object is lighter, and if this is heavy, you say this object is heavier. For example, let's look at this. This is a tennis ball, one tennis ball, two tennis balls. So this is heavier than this. So I'll say this is lighter than this. And then I'll say this is heavier than this. You can see that even our spring balance is showing us which is heavier. The one that tends to bend to one side is the heavier object. You can even use your two hands to compare. You just put one object on the left, put one on the right, and you say, okay, this one on the left is lighter than this, and you say the one on the right is heavier than this. Is still comparing. So there are quite a number of things you can compare around you. You can just look around you now. What can you see? Probably a plate and a bucket. Which is heavier? A ruler and a book. Which is heavier? A notebook and a textbook. Which is heavier? Which is lighter? So that is what we mean by comparing, telling which object is heavy or which is light. Now look at this example. This is a pencil and a shoe. Which do you think is light? Is it the shoe? No, the pencil is lighter. So I will say the pencil is lighter than the shoe. Or I will say the shoe is heavier than the pencil. Did you see that? There's so many other things we can compare around us. Okay, let me use the one I said earlier. I said a plate and a bucket. So I can say the plate is lighter than the bucket. Or I can say the bucket is heavier than the plate. I can even use two buckets, one empty, one with water. The one without water, the one that is empty, I will say this bucket is lighter than the one that has water. While the bucket with water, I will say this bucket with water is heavier than the empty bucket. It's as simple as that. There are a lot of objects you can compare around you. So what you're going to do for me is pick as many objects around you and try to compare. Tell me which is light, which is heavier, which is light, which is heavier. Very simple, isn't it? Beautiful. Now we'll come to the end of the class. Have a nice day. Bye.